Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Anjali ji, I don't see. Hello. Other speakers working here? Hello. हल्की सी तो आ रही है, but it can be increased. The volume in the speakers. Slightly only, huh? Not too much. So, good morning, friends. Chaliye, let's close our eyes for a brief moment. So, a quick recap to begin with. What all we had discussed yesterday, friends? Brother, features of Indian society, wherein firstly we discussed ki why do we have a separate paper 2 and paper 1? Why don't, since sociology emerged much earlier in the West, why don't we use the same knowledge that Western scholars, same insights that they developed in to the analysis of society for understanding Indian society? And what did we come up with? Why? Very well, Indian society is way more different than how Western society was when these guys were analyzing the Western society. In which ways, brother? How is Indian society, brother? Different? Ideologies, elaborate. ठीक है, industrialization, but पूरी बात बोलिए ना. Don't just throw words at me, throw arguments at me. Very good. Western society had undergone large-scale industrialization, and a modern urban industrial society had emerged, and that is the kind of society these Western scholars were analyzing. But what about India? In India till date, we are much more rural than urban. We are much more, far more people are dependent on agriculture or primary sector and various other ways. Brother, caste system. Continue. There are different religions in India, and these religions are fundamentally different from the dominant religion, which is Christianity in the West. So technological progress which the West has witnessed or undergone, we have not. Absolutely. Okay? What else, brother? In white. So, okay, that is when we had graduated to the next segment talking about the nature of Indian society. Right now I'm sticking to why we did not use Western templates or theories to understand Indian society. We were mostly, in large measure, pre-modern when sociology was started in India as an academic project, which was in the year, Bitya, 1919. In the West, sociology had emerged when, brother? 1839, when the term was coined by Auguste Comte. So despite having an 8 decades head start, Western sociology seemed incapable of explaining the social reality in India. So did we reject completely Western sociological theories. Brother in white. No, okay. But you'll need to be more articulate, more, you'll have to explain it slightly better. Completely correct answer, but थोड़ा अधूरा लगता है. मैंने क्या पूछा आपसे? मैंने पूछा, did we completely reject Western theories and models? Very good. We have adapted them. Modified form में we have selectively applied them in the Indian context also, and we have not stopped at that. We have also developed, brother, native models. Bilkul. Or concepts or theories. Can you, I have not taught yet, I understand, but can you name any native concepts, terms, models? That's not native. That is only an adaptation of Western. Indian Marxism is not native entirely. It is an adaptation of the Western Marxist framework. Indian concept, most of you have heard of it. Sanskritization. है ना, और कुछ पता ना हो बताओ, ये जरूर सुना होगा, right? Concepts like Sanskritization, what it is and what are its full impacts. We will discuss as we proceed. अभी हमने छुआ ही नहीं है. But yes, Sanskritization is a desi concept. Very well. Then we discuss the nature of Indian society. And what did we comment, brother? It is very diverse. It has diversities of bitia, language, religion, caste. बोलती जाओ, मैं थक जाना चाहिए, आप नहीं रुकने चाहिए. Races, ethnicity, food, cuisine, political ideologies. Goes on. Wonderful. Wonderful. Can you elaborate on some of these diversities, Bitya and Blue? Nevertheless, are you Indian? So, based on that, what is your intuitive understanding? Any one diversity you can comment upon. Any one form of diversity. She mentioned several. Linguistic and religious and this and that. We have not even begun with sociology proper. Very frankly, we are just discussing, taking baby steps into the discipline of sociology. Wonderful. Though there are constitutionally recognized or scheduled 22 languages, we have far many more, and every few kilometers, as she has very rightly pointed out, languages, dialects, idioms change. Wonderful. Brother. Yes. Brother in dark blue. Yes. Yeah. Comment on racial diversity in India. Racial diversity के ऊपर we have different races like Aryans, Mongoloids, Dravidians, Proto-Australoid, Negrito. What is the spelling of Proto-Australoid? You guys somebody must have checked. AUSTR A है, ठीक है, ALOID. ठीक है. We have various races, and there has also been admixture or mixing of races. Yes or no? Further contributing to racial diversity. Another pickup, Bitya, another diverse form of diversity. Yes. Religious diversity. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. Yeah. Buddhists, Jains. No. No, so on. Continue. Delve further into this religious diversity. Parsians नहीं, Parsis. Parsis also called Zoroastrians. ठीक है, उनका religion, धर्म is called Zoroastrianism. Okay. Parsis. Those absolutely right. Only I'll slightly offer you a new language. They are called sects. Those subgroupings within a religious community are called sects. SECTS. Okay, so there are various sects in various religions. Sects like Bitya, no, brother. Bitya has spoken. Yeah. Muslim sects like Shia, Sunni, Ismail, Barelvi, Ahmadiyya, Khoja, Bora, huh? Or other sects. Yes, brother. Sects in other communities. Brother, Hanji, मैं. Christian sects like Protestant, Catholic, Orthodox, very good. Brother, और बताइए. Yes. Shaivites, Vaishnavites, Shaktism, सवर्ण. नहीं, सवर्ण शब्द बोलते हैं जो अपर कास्ट या अपर वर्ण के होते हैं, उनको बोलते हैं सवर्ण. ओके, सो रॉन्ग यूजेज ऑफ द टर्म. आप शायद स्मर्थ कहना चाह रहे थे, है ना, दोज हु फॉलो ऑल थ्री. और लिंगायत्स आपने सुने होंगे, दे हैव बीन इन द न्यूज. ठीक है ना, बहुत सारे ऐसे सेक्ट्स मिलेंगे. और बताइए. फिर न्यू एज रिलीजन्स होते हैं, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग मूवमेंट है, जैसे ब्रह्मो समाज. वो इतनी न्यू एज नहीं है, बट या ब्रह्मो समाज, आर्य समाज, प्रार्थना समाज, सॉरी रामकृष्ण मिशन इत्यादि. राइट, सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ religious diversity. We also discussed various schools of diverse philosophical schools in Hinduism, such as Astic and Nastic, two broad categorizations. Name some Astic schools of Hindu philosophy, Bitya. Yog, Mimamsa, Vaisheshika. Name some Nastic schools, brother. Brother. Buddhism, Jainism, Charvak. बिल्कुल ठीक है. Then we discussed what? Linguistics she has already commented upon. Caste diversity. So, Bitya at the back. Yes. Comment on the diversity of castes in Indian society. — 1100 castes. Sorry, that's an incorrect figure. Definitely more than that. Total castes. 1100 are, over 1100 are scheduled castes, which are only one of the caste categories, na? Total caste kitni hai? Thousands of castes. Simple. Thousands of castes divided into 4 varna, and then those which are considered as avarna castes. Right? And any figures we have for how many castes are there, Bitya? 46 lakh is somewhat of a obnoxious figure which was thrown up by the socio-economic caste census, which also recognized that there have been, over 2 crore plus mistakes in the data. तो फिर अब क्या ही करें, ठीक है? But yeah, that was one figure that was thrown up. Something more in the, should I say acceptable range. जैसे बहुत हमारे यहाँ बोलते हैं ना, ठीक ठीक लगा लो. तो अगर ठीक ठीक लगा लेंगे तो कितनी कास्ट मानी जाएंगी? मंडल कमीशन, यस, वेरी गुड. 3743 castes were recognized as OBC, and currently there are over 5000 castes in the list of OBCs. तो 5000 तो OBCs हो गई, 1100 शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट हो गई, है ना, 6000 ये हो गई. फिर जनरल कम्युनिटीज की कास्ट मान लो, तो we can safely say there are thousands of castes. Don't be so vague कि many castes. Okay? ठीक है. So there are numerous castes. Castes also differ regionally. In other words, castes you will find in Haryana. You will not find in Chennai or in Bengal. Right? So castes also vary regionally. और क्या कास्ट? नहीं, क्लास पे आने से पहले कास्ट को और वो करो. कास्ट में होती हैं सब कास्ट और could be sub caste. No, and I'm honestly not making it up, lest I give that impression. It's actually the case, right? So castes are further subdivided into constituent groupings. और गोत्र का भी फंडा होता है, we had mentioned in passing. Okay, what are their implications? We'll discuss when we study caste, etc. Then क्लास डाइवर्सिटी के ऊपर बात कीजिए बिटिया. यस. Wonderful. There are islands of prosperity. You know, you have this obnoxious Antilla surrounded by the slums of a Dharavi. Absolutely. According to Forbes magazine, we have the third largest number of billionaires in the world, right? And we also have a very, very large middle class population, which is more than the total population of several European countries altogether, right? And we also see heart-wrenching poverty. Or huge middle class. I think you missed me there. I just mentioned that. But theek hai. Then there are further divisions. What other kinds of diversities did we or can we talk about? Bitya. Okay, diversity of political parties, political ideologies, or other diversities which have not been touched upon in this revision. Cuisines. She's like so dismissive. It's not too consequential, it seems to. I was reading a write-up by Shashi Tharoor. You know, he said India mein there are more than 300 ways of cooking the potato. You know? So, which is such an innocuous and everyday kind of a vegetable that just highlights, you know, the kind of diversity of living styles, eating preferences that people have. Brother, और क्या diversities हैं? No? Have we run out of diversities? We can run out of time, but not diversities in Indian society, friends. Yes. Dance forms. बताओ 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. हाँ? सतरिया, बिहू, कथक, भरतनाट्यम, गरबा, कुचिपुड़ी, कथकली. Music. कौन बताएगा music? Anybody with a taste for music? बताओ music के different forms थोड़े. Come on. Are we also deaf? Different forms, some general commentary, yeah. Very, very broad categorization. He's saying classical music or pop music. Yeah. All right. Various forms of music. Yes. You want to venture? Bitya in blue? Okay, I'm enlightened. And this is from which part of the country? Okay, any specific state you like to mention there? You hail from Karnataka? Janapad music it's called, which is what the farmers sing during harvest season or something. Very well. Some sort of folk songs perhaps. Huh? Very well. और बताइए. Ragini. अपने अपने प्रदेशों के बता दोगे ना, उसी से we will be able to capture the diversity of forms of music. Brother. सोहर होता है in UP. Yes, बिटिया. कजरी कहां होता है? UP, Bihar border regions. Birha from UP, Bihar region. Huh? Where? What else? FA. मतलब इंग्लिश में स्पेल कर दो ना. FAAG. फाग. ओके. यूपी का, यूपी में ही 50 मिल जाएंगे आपको तो. यूपी so large, you know, in terms of population as well as geographical size. So all sorts of forms of music are there. Hindustani classical, Carnatic music, or attire, or sari ke. You know, sari has so many ways in which it can be draped. So the way Bengali drapes the sari will be very different from how it is worn in, say, a Punjab or a Haryana. Yes or no? Or vagera, vagera. Numerous forms of diversity are there in Indian society. And we had ended on a rather pessimistic and ominous note, quoting who? That God-forsaken British Prime Minister, Sri Winston Churchill, who had commented kya? Yes, brother Mohan Pyare. That once the British leave, India will not be able to hold its act together. He commented that India is not a nation. It is not one country. It is more of a geographical term like the equator. He says India is no more a country than the equator is, which I find so condescending and so derogatory, very frankly. Right? And many such people, they predicted that India will get divided due to these numerous divisions, due to incessant conflict. So once the British, who are artificially holding these diverse people together, once they leave, these people will be at each other's throats, scrambling or fighting over scarce resources, resulting in the balkanization of the country. Did you spare a thought on this? I had asked you to. कि सोच के बताइएगा. So what is your take? Before I ask your take, should we write on what we have discussed yesterday? Should I dictate? Yeah? And then we continue? Yes or no? Quick. It's a quasi-democracy in this classroom. So what's your take? I seek your feedback and then I take a final call. So a quasi kind of a democracy. Would you like the portions discussed yesterday regarding diversity, etc., be dictated? Yes or no? Whatever I hear louder. Yes or no? Okay. Raise your hands. Okay, the voice vote is not too clear. Yeses, raise your hand. Okay. No's, raise your hand. I think the yeses have it. Chalo, likho up. Leave space for a paragraph, like half a page, and write from below it. Leave space half a page for what I'll be dictating later. Okay, and start like after a blank half page. Indian society is characterized by numerous diversities. Numerous diversities. Full stop. The very multiplicity of diversities can be truly perplexing, yeah, mind-boggling. Full stop. Perplexing या mind-boggling, जो शब्द समझ आए, it's English, it's not sociology. In India, there are numerous racial and ethnic groups. Multiple languages. Religious pluralism. Hundreds of tribes. And thousands of castes. Full stop. In Indian society, there are diverse forms of marriage and family. styles of music, dance, drama, art, and architecture. Full stop. In India, we come across innumerable customs, a wide range of faiths, faith, Faiths, faiths, a large number of political parties, and regional histories. And regional histories. Full stop. Little wonder then that India has been variously described as a subcontinent masquerading as a nation. As a nation. A subcontinent masquerading as a nation. Comma, and as a veritable museum. A museum of races, cultures, languages, and religions. To further simplify, masquerading is an English word, not a sociological term. It simply means, behrupiya ya bhes badal ke. A subcontinent which is trying to pass off for a nation, or which is pretending to be a nation. That is what it implies. That we are really a subcontinent and we are projecting ourselves as if we are a nation. Nation is something which is characterized by a sense of oneness, unity. But there is nothing of the sort in India. We are different people and social groups, numerous identities. So my sense of loyalty is to my what? मैं क्या हूं सबसे पहले? बनिया हूं. To my caste, to my religious community, to my linguistic affiliation. And I do not feel one with the Tamil or the Musalman or the Bengali. Are you with me? So, a subcontinent masquerading as a nation. Sunil Khilnani karke ek political scientist hai. He had used this interesting phrase, right? दूसरा तो आपने शायद सुना होगा, a veritable museum of races, languages, religions and cultures. Have you read this? Even for your GS perhaps? A very reputed historian. Any guesses? Historians के नाम बोलो. I'm sure you must have come across that name. जो भी historians के नाम पता है बोलो, other than Romila Thapar. Any other names you're aware of? No, not R.S. Sharma. With due respect to R.S. Sharma ji, not Ramachandra Guha, not R.G. Bhandarkar, A.L. Basham. Good. A.L. Basham. Wonder That Was India. That's the book. Basham. B-A-S-H-M. और ये masquerading, subcontinent masquerading as a nation was Sunil Khilnani. Next para. It's not necessary from the exam point of view to remember these names. There will be several names you will have to remember in any case as we proceed, right? Topic wise. So preserve your limited bandwidth and energies for those, perhaps. Next para. At the outset, a foreigner will be struck by the remarkable racial diversity in India. The Indian population belongs to various racial and ethnic stocks. Including, I repeat, the Indian population belongs to diverse racial and ethnic stocks, including Aryans, Dravidians, Proto-Australoid, Mongoloid, Negrito, and many which are an outcome of their admixture. Admixture simply meaning mixing of races, unka milan. Full stop. India is home to numerous faiths. Dash all the major religions of the world. Have a substantial following in India. Full stop. Apart from the major ones, like Hinduism, Islam and Christianity. There are scores of others. There are scores of others with fewer members, but still an important part of India's social and cultural fabric. These include Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, Parsis, Jews, and a small but growing population of atheists and rationalists. And a small but growing population of atheists and rationalists. Full stop. Then there are numerous tribal, religious beliefs and rituals, ranging from ancestor worship, to nature worship, forest worship, spirit worship, and the like, etc. Various religious communities. वी कैपिटल करो ना बेटे, नया सेंटेंस है तो. Various religious communities, particularly the bigger ones, like Hindus and Muslims, are divided into numerous sects. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्या बात करें? लैंग्वेजेस. देयर आर hundreds of languages, and scores of dialects and scripts. पूछो बेटा. Hundreds of languages and scores of dialects and scripts. ठीक है? And many dialects and scripts, simply. That make India's social landscape even more complex. India's social landscape even more complex. Yet another, full stop डाल के, yet another mystifying phenomena in Indian society is the multiplicity of castes. Multiplicity of castes. Full stop. By the most conservative estimates, there are thousands of castes. Full stop. Moreover, castes vary regionally. Full stop. So, the castes one will find in a Tamil village So the caste one will find in a Tamil village will be different from the castes in the interiors of Haryana. Full stop. Castes not only differ in nomenclature, सिर्फ नाम अलग नहीं है कि दिल्ली में बनिया है और महाराष्ट्र में महाजन है. Castes differ not only in terms of nomenclature, but also in terms of social prestige, and power. This diversity on the axis of, these diversities on the axis of traditional identities of caste, religion, ethnic and linguistic community are further complicated when they are superimposed on modern axis of diversities when they are superimposed on modern axis of diversities like income या class, occupation and sexuality. Yes or no? क्या लिखा है sentence? Just read it out for me. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. In other words, friends, Muslims are not a homogeneous community. Amongst Muslims, you have very rich Muslims and poor Muslims. Are you with me? You have Muslims who are working as barbers and you have Muslims who are billionaires. Right? So, traditional access of, say, religious identity being a marker of difference कि मैं हिंदू हूं या मुसलमान, but मैं मुसलमान हूं ना काफी नहीं है ना. Apart from the fact that I am a Musliman, I have an occupational identity. I have an income based or class identity. And a gay Muslim is very different from a straight Muslim. And so on and so forth. ठीक? Full stop. There are important regional variations in food habits, cultures, level of economic development, and political organization. Political organization in the sense, friends, different regions of the country have different political dynamics. BJP, which is so strong and dominant in, say, Haryana or nowadays UP, it is a non-entity or has been a non-starter in a Tamil Nadu. TMC, which has a very strong stranglehold over the politics of Bengal, has zero presence or relevance much of the areas outside of Bengal, except for pockets here and there. Are you with me? So our politics is also very fractured and diverse. Clear? Next para. Multiple social identities. And hierarchies have been interpreted as a sign of danger for Indian society. Full stop. These multiplicity of social groups it is often imagined will be in a perpetual state of conflict. You know, there's this writer of international repute, V.S. Come on, V.S. Naipaul. सुना है? सुना होना चाहिए. Nevertheless, this thing has changed, yeah. Anjali, how do I get the old board back? Like, this is a different kind of a board. Acha, one sec, shayad this will work. हाँ, ठीक है, it works. You know, he termed it a million mutinies. A million mutinies. That India is a land of a million mutinies. But you know, you don't have these massive political changes or large-scale transformations. But there are numerous everyday struggles. For example, the struggle of Dalits for dignity and equal rights. So various Dalit families, communities, in their own ways, they are fighting the oppressive caste system. Are you with me? Likewise, the industrial workers, they are fighting against class-based exploitation. Women are engaged in this perpetual struggle for gender equality, bodily, sexual, reproductive autonomy, financial independence. Are you with me? तो इस देश में क्या हो रहे हैं? सैकड़ों संघर्ष हो रहे हैं. ठीक है, क्या लिखा है बेटे? In a perpetual state of conflict. What V.S. Naipaul termed as, in quotation marks, a million mutinies. Full stop. Others, like Winston Churchill, prophesied, yani predicted, the balkanization of India. You understand the word balkanization? It means for a larger country to get dismembered into smaller countries. Balkans region है ये somewhere. Where? Caspian Sea के आसपास. Come on guys, I'm not your geography teacher. Eastern Europe में. जैसे वो चेकोस्लोवाकिया था, यूगोस्लाविया था, ये सारे होंगे शायद, वो छोटे छोटे हो गए. Am I right? Balkanization, basic, I'm not sure where Balkans are, but balkanization means big countries getting fragmented into smaller countries because they are not unable to sustain themselves politically or administratively. Are you with me? क्या लिखा है? Some like Winston Churchill prophesied the balkanization of India once the British exited the country. Chaliye, so this is what we had discussed yesterday, right? Now tell me, what is your take? Was Janab Churchill right? Have such doomsday predictions, or are they a looming threat now? क्या ये संभव है? बिटिया, so you are saying that the British in their assessment were wrong. People like Churchill were clearly wrong. We are quite used to diversity. Brother. Sorry to cut you short. I forgot to dictate, but we had also discussed yesterday that the underlying reasons for this diversity are 3. The demography, the sheer size of the population. The geography, India is a vast land with different kinds of terrains, temperatures, soil types, flora and fauna. That also leads to socio-cultural diversity. And thirdly, history. So throughout our millennia, history spanning millennia, we have had different people visiting the country and contributing to this cultural diversity, right? From the Arabs and the Mongols and the Turks to the Afghans to the Europeans or the works, right? So this portion I have missed in the dictation, but you may jot down if you please. Coming back, brother. So if I were to paraphrase what he has said or repeat it, he's saying, as a Muslim from Bihar, I feel more affinity with a Hindu from Bihar than from, say, a Muslim from XYZ, Jammu and Kashmir or South India, right? Therefore, his contention is balkanization is unlikely. Balkanization, say, along religious lines is unlikely, because a Muslim, Muslim, there's no pan-India Muslim identity. But that makes me wonder, then isn't balkanization even more likely? Given that the Bihari Muslim feels one with the Bihari Hindu and the Bihari Sikh. So Bihar will develop its own strong Bihari identity, which will stand in stark contrast to the Odia identity and to the Punjabi and the Bengali identity. That seems like a looming threat. Brother, Churchill might not be entirely wrong. There have been numerous secessionist movements which have indeed historically tried to break away from the Indian Union, be it the once again reignited Khalistan movement, be it the movement for greater Nagalim in the east, be it the demand for a Dravid Nadu from Tamil Nadu and the rest of South India. Yes or no? Numerous such fissiparous secessionist tendencies have been there in Indian body politic. So he's saying Churchill was not entirely wrong. Brother, one second. Now that's sorry, I'll come to you. That's an important argument to make. How many of us, with how many of us does that argument resonate? How many of you believe that he's made a valid point? That we might get divided into fragments. Raise your hands. How many of you strongly, vehemently object to his argument? Raise your hands. Okay. Why? Bitya, where is he wrong? She's saying even, from those movements, for example, if you take the Khalistan movement, it's not that the majority Sikh population sides with the Khalistanis. Majority, they have a sense of oneness and belonging to the Indian nation, at one with the Hindus and the Muslims, at one with the other linguistic groups and communities, right? So whether it is the Azad Kashmir terrorists, whether it is the Khalistanis, whether it is the Bodo insurgents, whether it was the now defunct Dravid Nadu movement, all of these have been A, taken care of to a large extent, B, they have not received popular support, even from their respective constituencies on behalf of which they claim to speak. Brother, They came under the umbrella term Indian. हाँ, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हुआ था. So we were not then divided into Hindu, Muslim or something during Operation Sindoor and many more. Bitya, raise your hand. Brother, Churchill was definitely wrong. Nothing needs to be now said. History has proved Churchill wrong. It's been a good 7 decades since the British left, packed their bags, and we are here to stay. Not only have we maintained our territorial integrity, except for the partition which was artificially imposed by the British, there is no imminent danger to India's territorial integrity or its national unity. Brother, diversity is problematic. It would have been perhaps better, you are saying, if we were all speaking the same language or worshipping the same gods. Okay, he's saying, sir, don't twist my words. I'm not saying that. So he's saying there are challenges, but they can be addressed. They are being addressed and they have been addressed. Very well. Thank you, friends. Thank you. I'll come to you. Allow me. Okay. Very well. So we can definitely perhaps agree upon that history seems to have proved Churchill wrong. There has been no immediate balkanization of India. And India's territorial and national integrity has been preserved, maintained, and enhanced. Scary. What's to be done? Koi kuch karo? No, but then students will not be, online students won't be. Let's hope for sanity to resume. Online students, am I audible? Rahul is saying they didn't want to leave India. That's why he said that. Yes. Churchill was just giving excuses for colonial rule in India. So, friends, despite such ominous predictions, we have been able to maintain a sense of oneness and unity. So Indian society, the story, the understanding, the analysis of Indian society is not just about multiplicity of identities and heterogeneity. There is also an overarching unity that characterizes our national life. Also a sense of unity. What makes us united despite this mind-boggling diversity? Kuch to same nahi hai. We speak different languages, we worship different gods, we belong to different income levels, political affiliations, castes, communities, ethnic identities. Then why aren't we at each other's throats, as Churchill would have liked? Brother, क्या सेम है बताओ? क्या आप कह रहे हो? कोर वैल्यूज, बड़ा लोडेड वर्ड यू हैव यूज्ड. Values are same, he's saying. What are those same values that we have, irrespective whether we are Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Haryanvi, ya Odia? Interesting. He's saying, for example, the harvest festivals being celebrated by various names. but the essence is the same. चाहे उसको आप बिहू बोलें या आप उसको ओनम बोलें या आप उसको बैसाखी बोलें, है ना? Very good, brother. Our constitution, very importantly, binds us together. And how does it do that? Gives equal rights to all, irrespective of religion, caste, community, gender, this and that. Wonderful. Bitya? So the freedom struggle, which was a collective joint effort of different communities and social groups to drive out the British, that is what unites us. Or shared history. You know, one line of thinking or argument is that even if we say that these diverse communities and social groups have been united, a good chunk of the credit for the same goes to the British. Thanks to colonial rule, these diverse communities have been woven together, be it due to their common opposition to the colonial rule in the freedom struggle, or be it the, say the rule of law, the ideals of equality, etc., that the modern ideals that the British fostered and perpetuated, or it could be mechanisms like the Indian civil services. Are you with me? But all of these, or the Indian railways that connected the length and breadth of the country, all of these are, or the modern, the printing press, which helped the, inculcate and spread nationalistic feeling amongst the people. Are you with me? All of these are a bane of the British. So, unity that we see, it is a relatively new, or should we say modern day phenomena. Colonial rule united us. Colonial rule united us. And then this project of unification of these diverse communities was taken to its logical conclusion by the national leadership after independence, preeminently Sardar Patel. So when the British left, India still was divided into numerous princely states, apart from the British administered India. 500 plus, which is 500 plus. So 500 plus princely states were there, and they were woven together into a single political administrative unit or a country called India, thanks to the efforts of Sardar Patel. Chacha Nehru took up the onus of integration of Jammu and Kashmir, and see where we landed. Never mind. But so the national leadership broadly, through this single constitutional framework with equal rights and laws, through the integration of princely states, they completed the project of national unification. What's your take? Can we agree on this line of argument? Do you agree with this argument that I just made? Unity in India is a modern day phenomena, an outcome of colonial rule. Many of the things the British did, like introducing railways, post and telegraph, modern education system, which led to the development of a middle class, which fostered nationalism, printing press, civil services, rule of law, all of these together, and the anti-colonial sentiment, all of these together resulted in the development of a sense of unity amongst these diverse castes, different religious communities, linguistic groups, and so on and so forth. And then Chacha Nehru and Sardar Patel, they finished the project. That is why, since Patel is credited, we have the Statue of Unity dedicated in the memory of Patel. Here, do you agree? Yes or no? Yes or no? I need it to be more clear. Do you agree or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Please appreciate, friends. This is a very, very specious and farcical kind of an argument. Superficially, it may seem very convincing, very cogent. But if you dive deep down, you will see the hollowness of this argument. There are some, so unity in India predates colonial rule. Predates colonial rule. Since ages. Since ages. And the roots, what are the basic reasons why we have unity? What are those different forms of unity? I will discuss. But what are the basic reasons that make us one? Bitya? Wonderful. It is the geography. Our geography is a source of unity. Odd, seemingly, that we had termed the geography as a source of diversity, but this geography is also very much a source of oneness and unity. India is a contiguous landmass, friends. Yani it is one unbroken parcel of land, large mass of land without any break. Yes or no? So it is one landmass which has natural frontiers, which marks it off as a distinct civilization. Country या nation नहीं बोल रहा हूं, civilization. मतलब all these people, these diverse social groups residing in this territory, they have been residing so since ages. And this is a natural kind of a geographical formation with natural frontiers or boundaries. What are those natural frontiers? The great Himalayas in the north, which separate us from the other ancient and great civilization, which the Cynic civilization or the Chinese people. वो भी एक बड़ी large population है और वो भी हजारों सालों से है. But the great Himalayas have served as a natural barrier between the Indian people and the Chinese people. And in the south, we have the seven seas or the Indian Ocean. Are you with me? And then in the east, we have the Brahmaputra, and the west, we have the Indus. These two mighty or great river systems and the ocean and the mountain range, they serve as the natural frontiers of India. Are you with me? So that contiguous landmass, that shared destiny because of a common geography, because of being cut off from the rest of the world. Moreover, this geography, or what is the nature of Indian geography? Is it like broadly pro-life or makes life difficult? Very pro-life. This land is fertile, well drained, so that it can support a large population. Are you with me? You have systems of perennial rivers. You have natural phenomena like the monsoons, which are nearly pan-India. So the farmer in Punjab looks forward to the announcement of the arrival of monsoons in Kerala. That gives you a sense of unity. कि केरल आ गया, अब इतने दिन में पंजाब भी आ जाएगा. Are you with me? Another important reason is like as elementary as geography. Our history, which we had commented has been a source of diversity, has also been a source of unity. How is history a source of unity? Vidya? There were many great rulers like Ashok, like Akbar, who ruled pan-India or nearly pan-India over very large empires. Or be a bit louder, please. Uttar Path, Dakshin Path, the GT road, huh? Very well. So you're saying that they, in their own ways, if not the modern railways, they had the GT Karnal road, right? Or the GT road, which kind of were built by these rulers in different points in history. You know, India has been importantly, not just, we have had a continuous and unbroken civilizational record for the past more than 5,000 years, friends. Continuous and unbroken civilizational record, which is a feat in itself. As what they say, यूनान मिस्र रोमा सब मिट गए जहां से. क्या? अब तक मगर है बाकी नामो निशा हमारा. यस और नो? कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिट्टी नहीं हमारी, सदियों रहा है दुश्मन दौरे जमा हमारा. In other words, throughout our history, we have seen many attacks, invasions, conquests. First, a literal translation. Yunan Misr. How many of you don't understand this bhasha? Okay. Yunan Misr Roma, sab mit gaye jahan se. So various other great and ancient civilizations like the Mesopotamians, the Greeks, and the blah blah, the Romans, they have vanished. Ab tak magar hai baki नामो निशा हमारा, but we continue to exist. कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी. There is something about the Indic civilization. सदियों रहा है दुश्मन दौरे जमा हमारा, despite us having to face numerous enemies and conquerors and invaders. ठीक है? That is what it means. So there is something about our civilization that ensures that we continue to exist and to thrive. किसने लिखा था ये? हाँ, मौलाना नहीं बोलते थे उनको, अल्लम इकबाल. बिल्कुल, इकबाल थे जो, जिन्होंने वो लिखा था तुम्हारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदू सिता हमारा. ठीक है? बाद में ही became one of the chief ideologues of the Pakistan movement. Beauty. Nevertheless, so point is, friends, throughout, we have had an unbroken civilizational record. Different people, different cultures, different religions, different ethnic groups, they have come to India. But none of them have wiped out its core. The core has survived. The civilizational core has survived. Other cultures and peoples which came to India, whether as traders, invaders, monks, or missionaries, they by and large, they tended to make India their home. So they contributed to our social life and cultural fabric, but they did not erase what was already there. Are you with me? So there is that underlying thread of unity that continues, that civilizational core which continues to bind these diverse, seemingly diverse peoples. Are you with me? And like was rightly pointed out by Bitya, there have been numerous rulers in Indian history who have tried to forge a pan-India kind of a, single or centralized rule. Theek? Now, in which ways is this unity expressed? What keeps us united, friends? History and geography are the base reasons, but in which ways do you see the expression of this unity? What is that core Ashish is asking? We are building towards it. क्या national identity of being an Indian? तो वो क्या है ये Indian identity? Yes, what keeps us united, friends? Come on. Various ways. One is there is a politico-administrative unity. Political and administrative unity. Now, this unity is because of various aspects like the constitution. So we have pan-India, one constitution. Unlike, say, another democratic polity, another federal polity, the US, which also has state-level constitutions. In India, we all have a single constitution. A single citizenship. Again, unlike the US. A single currency. An integrated judiciary. The Indian civil services. Yes or no? So you may be a Bihari, but you may get Maharashtra cadre. People from Maharashtra will get Arunachal cadre, and so on and so forth. Yes or no? So, and these guys will then be at the helm of the administrative machinery. Apart from the constitution, and of course the equal rights, irrespective of which religion, caste, community to which you belong, which are again accorded to us by the constitutional and legal framework. Other reasons for politico-administrative unity have been the integration of princely states undertaken by the national leadership after independence. Another reason has been the common anti-colonial struggle that created a sense of oneness. Yes or no? Then, of course, some credit where it is due to the British. They took measures which contributed to the political and administrative unification of the country. Whether it was the English language, whether it was the railways, whether it was the civil services, and so on and so forth. The Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code, the legal framework, mota moti, absolutely. But friends, please appreciate, we do not consider the politico-administrative unity as a modern phenomena. As I had said earlier, it predates the British by several centuries, even millennia. The idea of a single, cohesive political and administrative unit has found mention in the writings of various ancient philosophers, statesmen, in ancient scriptures. For example, friends, in the ancient Hindu tradition and scriptures, you will find mention of various yajna, which were prescribed for political suzerainty over large, vast tracts of land. Ashwamedh Yagya, Vajpaya Yagya, Rajasuya Yagya, and several such. That indicated that, the person conducting these yagya, the king, the monarch conducting these yagya, he was claiming a suzerainty over all of lands. Are you with me? In the writings of poets, philosophers, this, politico-administrative one unit has been referred to as Bharatvarsh. As Bharatvarsh. And the kings who enjoyed pan-India suzerainty were referred to by various titles, like Rajadhiraj, Maharaj, Vikramaditya, है ना, ऐसे करके कई टाइटल्स थे. And several rulers in Indian mythology and history have been known to have actually realized the vision of politico-administrative unification, like Raja Dilip, Sagar, Yudhishthir, if that does not satisfy your this thing, because they seem to be more mythological than historical, several confirmed historical figures have also enjoyed near pan-India suzerainty and empires. Like Ashok, Chandragupta, Samudragupta, एक काम कीजिए, स्पीकर बंद कर दीजिए अगर संभव है. Hello, online students, please confirm if you can hear me. Online students, कर दीजिए चालू. Online students, we are back now. Now, hello. Please type yes. Maybe these are old comments. Have you reduced the volume? I'm audible. Acha, haan. Thank you. So, even, medieval era, the much maligned Alauddin Khilji, Akbar, yes or no? They enjoyed very, very vast empires. Aurangzeb, Marathas, absolutely. The Rajputs were never that big or never that vast. They never enjoyed that vast. Marathas surely did. Mughals did. Guptas did. Mauryas did. Nevertheless, so point is, friends, the idea of political and administrative unification is not modern or post-colonial rule. It has a much longer history, or definitely a pre-colonial history in India. Okay? Another reason for unity is, think counterintuitively, religion. क्या बात कर रहे हैं हम? How can religion be a source of unity? It seems to be one of the most divisive forces. How does religion unite us? Friends, 80% of us are Hindu, united by our common Hindu identity, and BJP loves it. Yes or no? That's quite another matter that a political party will try to reap political capital out of it. But the fact of the matter is that a very large chunk of the population follow the same faith. But then we had said that Hindus are not united because they are divided into various, there are numerous gods, philosophies, etc. But please appreciate, friends, despite that despite that heterogeneity within Hinduism, there is a very strong sense of oneness based on the Hindu identity. How is that? For example, friends, in Hinduism, pan-India, there are numerous important deities, gods and goddesses. For example, Lord Krishna, is he and his exploits celebrated only in यूपी? क्या वो मथुरा और वृंदावन के भगवान हैं? नहीं. Or is the celebration of Ganesh ji confined to Maharashtra or Hanuman ji to Karnataka? Absolutely not. These are pan-India deities, celebrated, worshipped and revered by Hindus throughout the length and breadth of the country. Yes or no? Likewise, friends, the two great epics of Hinduism, particularly Ramayana, the whole mythology of Ramayana traverses the length and breadth of the country. राम जी अयोध्या से चले और रामेश्वरम तक पहुंचे. Yes or no? And spent significant years of his life in different places. Are you with me? That mythology unites us. So is this Ramayana, is it only celebrated by the Valmiki Samaj? Of course not. Or where was Valmiki ji born? I don't even know. जहां के भी थे, क्या उसी जगह की है क्या रामायण? कतई not. We don't know and we don't care. Yes or no? Because Ramayana belongs to all Hindus. Mahabharata is enjoyed by and learned from by all Hindus. The exploits of Lord Krishna. इसी तरह भगवान शिव, the worship of the or the cult of Devi, you know, the divine in the feminine form, is pan-India. Yes or no? इसीलिए प्लीज इसी तरह से प्लीज अप्रिशिएट फ्रेंड्स, India has a sacred geography. Sacred geography. So the numerous pilgrimage centers, holy places, sacred spots, holy rivers and mountains, they are important for who? All Hindus. भैया गंगा जल का पानी जो पवित्र करने की पोटेंशियल रखता है, इज दैट ओनली फॉर द पीपल ऑफ यूपी एंड बिहार वेयर द गंगा फ्लोज? एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. सो पीपल फ्रॉम तमिलनाडु, फ्रॉम कर्नाटका will visit the Ganga, collect that holy water in that white, yes or no, plastic bottle, and treat it, consider it as sacred. Hinduism में 4 धाम हैं which unite this, you know, basically in the 4 corners of our geography, namely starting from the north, Badrinath in the north, Rameshwaram, बताओ ना, in the south, Dwarka in the west, Puri in the east. Yes or no? spread across the 4 corners. और 80% पॉपुलेशन क्या है? हिंदू है. We worship the same set of deities, maybe in different avatars. In different avatars or manifestations. Once I went to Vishakhapatnam, okay, and I went with my mother, and we went to a temple there. I'm forgetting the name of the temple. So, you know, there was a lot of devotion which was very visible in people's eyes and mannerisms. When we entered the temple, it was a heavy rush. And I had gone there for teaching, and my mother accompanied me for touristing. So we visited a local temple, and very, what we call manyata prapt, or very revered kind of a temple it was. So we both went in with very folded hands. And then we, you know, offered our this thing, we got the prasad, we came out, we ate it. And then I didn't know, so I asked my mother, कि ये कौन से देवी देवता का था? And she said, पता नहीं. And it doesn't matter. You see, we didn't understand the local language there. I'm just telling you that that spirit, that sense of devotion, that it is a Bhagavan or it is a Devi, that itself is enough for a Hindu. I don't care which goddess it is. For me, she is a divine presence. And don't tell me you haven't done something similar. We visit, for example, Himachal or Uttarakhand. We visit local temples. And we come back and we don't even know what really was the presiding deity of the temple. Nevertheless, we visit the temple with full Shraddha or devotion. Yes or no? So that is the Hindu spirit, friends. Are you with me? इसी तरह there are 64 or 64 ज्योतिर्लिंग. ज्योतिर्लिंग कितने हैं? 12 ज्योतिर्लिंग और 64 शक्तिपीठ. Some people give a different number also, 108 or something, है ना? But these ज्योतिर्लिंग्स and shaktipeeths, these are spread throughout the geography of the country. Are you with me? So no matter whether I am from Ujjain or not, the Ujjain temple is sacred and important for me as a Hindu. Are you with me? If I don't speak the local language and so on and so forth. So that gives us a sense of oneness and unity. Okay? Now tell me, friends, the important thing is, what about the rest? We've talked about 80% of the population, but what about the important, huge, non-Hindu population? So please appreciate, friends, this sense of religious oneness or unity is not confined to the Hindus alone. It permeates outside the bounds of Hinduism. To give you a sense, religions can broadly be classified into 2 types. Wonderful. Namely, nahi, what a theoretical distinction, polytheistic or yes, sir. Arey nahi, Hindus, non-Hindus, nahi. Astik, Nastik, nahi. Acha, by the way, as regards the multiplicity of religious philosophies, as far as the common man is concerned, we don't know. And therefore, it doesn't affect our daily life. Yes or no? आपको बड़ा पता है मीमांसा ये है या वो है. पढ़ लिख के लिए 2 लाइन you will रट लो for the exam purpose. But it does not affect your religious orientation, your world view, your daily life. Yes or no? So वो किताबी चीज है as far as contemporary religious life is concerned. Where was I? 2 types of what are called as the dharmic religions or the Indic religions and the Abrahamic. Other क्या होता है? Abrahamic religions. So Hinduism. What are Indic religions? Those which are born on the Indian soil. They are Indic, yeah, dharmic religions, namely Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. ठीक? Abrahamic religions are importantly Islam and Christianity, also Judaism. ठीक है? But ठीक है, not too many here in India, right? Islam and Christianity are Abrahamic religions, while Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, along with Hindus, are Indic. They were born on the Indian soil and outside of India. Now, there are several Indic concepts that are equally subscribed to by other dharmic faiths. These dharmic or Indic religions, they were born out of the womb of Hinduism. And they have not severed all their ties with the parent religion. Are you with me? So there remain things in common between Hinduism and the other Indic faiths. For example, the notion of dharma. What dharma precisely means, we'll discuss later on. Roughly, what is dharma? Let's say duty. One's obligations or duties is dharma. Okay, for now, that should suffice. And this notion of dharma is not only or exclusive to Hinduism. It is also expressed in Buddhist literature, where they call it dhamma. In Pali literature, it is referred to as dhamma. But it's essentially the same thing. Okay, the notion of sansar. Several such themes you find across Indic faiths. Are you with me? And you know, Hinduism has also been quite accommodating. So Lord Buddha has been incorporated in the Dash avatars of Bhagwan Vishnu. Are you with me? Am I talking something alien, or are you able to connect? Why do I see blank eyes and faces then? नहीं पता तो पूछो. ये विष्णु जी के 10 अवतार होते हैं, उनमें से एक भगवान बुद्ध को भी there are varied interpretations, but even Lord Buddha has been interpreted as or incorporated as an avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu. Again, that important question, break kab denge? Huh? So one is that. If you look at the Guru Granth Sahib, the sacred scripture of the Sikhs, the Sikh community, you will find many references to Hindu deities. Many couplets, or whatever they are called, those stanzas, attributed to so-called Hindu saints and seers. Are you with me? What about the Jain community? So how they, is there any relationship between Jains and Hindus? The most intimate social relationship exists between Jains and Hindus. क्या होता है? शादी, ब्याह कर लेते हैं आपस में. Yeah. In my community, namely Banyas frequently marry into Jains and Jains into Banyas. It's very, very acceptable. Jabki there are so many restrictions otherwise on interfaith, intercaste marriages. Are you with me? So I have my cousin sisters who are married into the Jain households. and it's very, very commonplace. Do we take a break? Yes or no? Quick show of hands. How many? No break. No break. No break. Raise your hands. How many break? Chalo, let's take a quick and short break. कुछ करना पड़ेगा, चाहे तो ऐसे हर्ष दबाना है, चंदन जी को बोलना, देखिए पक्का है तरह ये, बाकी ये देखना उनको बोलना कि जब भी लाइट जाती है ऐसे बस दबाओ दिखाती है, कुछ उसका या तो इजी सिस्टम को बंद करने का. एक अंजलि एसी देखो ना 24 नंबर पे चल रहा है, तो कम पे करो ना, सारे एसी को एकदम मिनिमम पे करो तब जाके ठंडा होगा. इसी गर्मी से 16 तक होता है शायद. कौन कौन कहते हैं? क्यों रिस्की क्या है? और 18 तक कर दे तो ठीक है, 18 तो करो, 7 सब पे करना, इसमें तो शायद कम दिख रहा है, बाकी दोनों में वो वाला नहीं. अच्छा वो कर, अच्छा तो वो मंगाइए आज, हरी को बोलिए. हाँ एनीथिंग. Please settle down, friends, and let's continue. So two questions are there online. Let me address them. One is, will notes be provided for this lecture? Yes, notes either in the form of dictation. You are expected to make your running notes for the details, but overall, like I gave in the morning for the what we had discussed yesterday. Yesterday we had discussed in depth various types of diversities. Today morning we had a write-up on those diversities, right? Likewise, whatever we are discussing, notes will be there, either in the form of a handout or a dictation or whatever. But yes. Secondly, will paper 2 cover syllabus of GS Indian society? The answer is yes, it will, to a very, very large extent and in greater depth than what will be required for GS papers. And you will need to use it, whatever knowledge you acquire in sociology classes, free of jargons and too much of academic terminology or references to scholarly papers or scholars. Minus that, you use it in GS. Okay? So that is that. Can you please shut the door behind you, beta? Chaliye. Now, let's continue. Where were we? Indic religions, there is a sense of unity. Now let us address the elephant in the room, which is the Hindu-Muslim lafda, right? Or whether the relations between Hindus and the next biggest religious demographic, which is Muslims, are they really fractured? Or is there, some unsurmountable chasm between these communities? Or is there some sense of unity and oneness across the Indic-Abrahamic divide or the Hindu-Muslim divide? बताइए, what's your sense? मुसलमान से तो हिंदू का झगड़ा ही होता है ना, after all. Yes or no? Truth be told. And this is particularly, dare I say, painful, because that is the only axis along which we have actually had a vivisection of the country, right? And the partition was rather bloody. It was not a peaceful or orderly affair. There was a lot of bloodshed, acrimony across the religious divides, involving all three communities affected, namely Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs. Hindus and Sikhs on one side and Muslims on the other. So what is your sense? Is there something which unites us across this seemingly insurmountable Hindu-Musalman divide? Brother. Talk in simple lingo. You've used 2-3 sociological concepts in your opening sentence. What I sense is you are saying the Hindu is no more too Hindu and the Musalman is not too Musalman. Nobody cares about your religious identity. Okay, you are saying newer identities like Sufism or Bhakti, they are more accommodating. They are not exactly new in a chronological or a time sense. But the point is well made. Bitya. Race binds us together. Like he said, I am more, I have a greater affinity due to linguistic or cultural reasons with the Bihari Hindu than the far off Musalman. Brother. In what? Muslims and Hindus believe in each other's rituals. In Eastern UP, Muslim women do Chhat Puja. Wonderful. Interesting. Bitya. Occupational interdependence. Yeah. In the market, your religion doesn't matter. Simply, the Hindus and the Muslims commingle, brother. Yeah. Explain it fully, more fully. Yes, for the Musalman, when he has to cook his sevaiya, the milk comes from the Yadav community. Huh? Brother. So the point he's making is that Muslims themselves are not united. Be that as it may, how does that help us appreciate any sense of unity across the religious divide? Why do you say that? You have to substantiate. Nah? Just by saying that Muslims are not a united lot doesn't mean the Hindu-Muslim divide does not exist. The Sevaiya example proves that it does not exist, or the Muslim women performing Chhat Puja, that proves it. Brother, core principle of every religion is same. सब धर्म क्या सिखाते हैं? प्यार, मोहब्बत, सद्भावना, एकता, इंसानियत. I think that's what you're suggesting. The basic fundamental teachings of all religions are same. Bitya. She's saying the Hindu-Muslim divide is more political than socio-cultural. ये मोदी और ओवैसी की देन है. But the common Hindu and the common Musliman couldn't care less. Their daily lives are very similar. Brother. They may share some. Sorry? They may share some sense of belongingness. But why? After conversion, why should they still feel that they belong? No, really. हो गए ना convert. उसके बाद my आस्था is towards Allah and not your Shivji or the Hindu gods. Brother? Indian identity binds them. So you're saying Indian citizenship, let us say. Very well. But how is religion itself a source of strength? Both Hindus and Muslims worship together. कौन सा? जहार पीर in Rajasthan. मुस्लिम भी चादर चढ़ाते हैं और हिंदू भी दिया जलाते हैं. Very well. Very well, brother. Your example is quite a hit. You are saying a religious divide is clearly visible. Okay, other factors uniting, you are saying language, race, etc. That is fine. That is another matter. But sticking to religion itself, Bitya. APJ Abdul Kalam, बढ़िया. He is in the heart of every Indian. रुलाओगी क्या बिटिया? But yeah, that basically captures the essence of this thing, right? Absolutely, friends. So yes, let us try to bridge this seemingly difficult religious divide, and it can be and has been to a very substantial degree bridged. Please appreciate, friends, firstly, what unites us across religions is our deep religiosity. In other words, religion is important to people across religions. चाहे मैं मुसलमान हूं या हिंदू हूं या सिख हूं या ईसाई हूं, Indians के लिए religion is mighty important. So our common, what unites us is our common sense of religiosity, high religiosity. Nextly, what unites us, friends, is that we have had the two communities are very accustomed to each other. Hindus, Muslims, and various other religious communities have been living side by side in long periods of peace, harmony, and mutual coexistence for much of India's civilizational history. A lot of khoon kharaba, animosity, bad blood that we see between communities was largely an outcome of by who? Modi ji. No. The colonial policy of divide and rule. But Muslims did not come to India during the colonial period. Yes or no? So for very long periods in Indian history, various religious communities have lived side by side. So the communal flare-up culminating in the partition that we witnessed during the period of British rule was more of an aberration than the norm. Since long, various religious communities have not only lived side by side, they have also, and even after kya naam hai tumhara, independence, they have commingled. They have celebrated festivals together. Yes or no? How many of you Hindus here have Muslim friends with whom you have played a Holi or a Diwali? Raise your hands. Bulk of the population. Yes or no? How many of you are non-Sikhs who have partaken food in a Gurudwara langar? Look at this. So this is the norm. अजमेर शरीफ की दरगाह पे जितने हिंदू जाते हैं शायद उतने मुसलमान ना जाते हो. A very large number of Hindus visit dargahs and Peer Babas and all of these Muslim saints. Are you with me? In the Indo-Gangetic plains, thanks to the coexistence and contributions of diverse communities, developed what we call the Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb, which was a syncretic culture, outcome of coming together of these diverse cultural traditions. Are you with me? You've heard about this Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb? Give me examples of Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb, or this commingling of Hindu and Muslim, not just religious but cultural influences. Sorry? Savaiya. Sevaiya. Absolutely, certain food items. Right? You may have seen it in advertisements. वो एक विराट कोहली का ऐड आता था मान्यवर का कि अब्दुल भाई के घर पे हमने उनसे ज्यादा सेवैयां खाई हैं ईद पे. Something of the sort. Are you with me? Little cliched, or you may have seen that Muslim woman with a child dressed as Krishna on Janmashtami. वो स्कूटर पे उसका बच्चा बड़ा ही नहीं होके देता. ठीक है, 10 साल हो गए. But point is, we celebrate each other's festivals. We visit each other's places of worship. We respect each other's astha. एक सर्वे हुआ था by Pew Research Center. Absolutely. Pew Research. Who else? Interesting finding there was. According to which around 25% या 1/4 of the Muslim respondents, लिखो ना, around 1/4 of the Muslim respondents and 1/3 of the Christian respondents in India believed that Ganga Jal can purify. Are you with me? Many Muslims and Christians in India also believed in Punarjanam, which is a Hindu or Indic concept. I'm just trying to give you a sense how there is cultural mixing and cohesion. Since various communities have lived side by side for generations and centuries altogether. Guys, is the video fine? Online friends, please confirm. Yes or no? एक आप लोगों ने पॉइंट आउट किया था इकोनॉमिक इंटीग्रेशन होता है, राइटली सो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब आप वैष्णो देवी जाते हो पिलग्रिमेज करने, पिट्ठू वाले घोड़े वाले कौन होते हैं? मुसलमान होते हैं. एंड दिस इज वेरी वेरी कॉमन. बंगाल में जब मां दुर्गा की मूर्तियां बन रही होती हैं, मेनी ऑफ दी कारीगर्स आर मुसलमान. टुडे आई लर्न छठ पूजा में मुस्लिम विमेन आर वर्शिपिंग. आर यू विद मी? अरे कम्युनिटी है बाय द नेम ऑफ हुसैनी ब्राह्मण्स. हुसैनी ब्राह्मण्स होते हैं. दे सपोर्टेड हुसैन, हु वाज द ग्रैंडसन ऑफ प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद इन द बैटल ऑफ करबला. उन्होंने सपोर्ट मांगा था. यू नो, देयर वाज अ वेरी ग्रेट मार्टियरडम एंड ही इज वेरी रेवियर्ड इन द शिया कम्युनिटी इन पर्टिकुलर. तो वो हुसैनी ब्राह्मण्स उनको सपोर्ट करते हैं. हिंदू ब्राह्मण है और सारे हिंदू रिचुअल्स करते हैं, बट हुसैन को के मार्टियरडम को कमेमोरेट करते हैं. उनको स्पेशल मिलती है एक तरह की उपाधि या रिकॉग्निशन ऑफ सॉर्ट्स फॉर देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन टू हुसैन्स फाइट. आर यू विद मी? या आपने से वो देखे होंगे, कई तो नाम में भी ऐसे दिखता है. नहीं वो नहीं, जैसे कि ना ये इकबाल सिंह यादव. क्या है ये? मुसलमान है या सिख है या हिंदू है? दिल्ली के मेयर हैं या थोड़े टाइम पहले तो थे, उनका नाम वाकई में था राजा इकबाल सिंह. ठीक है, राजा हिंदू, इकबाल मुसलमान और सिंह सिख निकले. वो सिख वैसे, हाँ, मतलब पगधारी सिख थे. अभी भी होंगे शायद. ठीक है ना? या बाबा गुरमीत राम रहीम सिंह जी इंसान. ये सुनो, राम भी रहीम भी सिंह भी, क्योंकि अल्टीमेट क्या है? इंसान. हाँ बिल्कुल. आर यू विद मी? क्योंकि भैया दिवाली में भी अली है और क्या बोलते हैं, रमजान में राम है ना? क्लीशेड, बट it gets you the essence of how different communities live life and celebrate it together. The Indian Constitution guarantees us freedom of religion, religious beliefs, practices, and so on. So all Indians are one. Religion has become, instead of a source of division, it has become a source of celebration. A source of celebration. Yes or no? Another thing that unites us is think counterintuitively. Language, absolutely. Language, how can it unite us? These thousands of languages, hundreds of languages. Anjali, please see the video. Is it stuck or is it? नहीं तो बच्चों की भी तो सुनो. आप केवल अपना मुंह मत देखो ना. Online friends, is the video fine? Please type yes if you can respond to this message. Can you see my waving hand? Where were we? Language. How does language unite us? Isn't it a source of division? Like we said, don't we see linguistic chauvinism, pride, wars, attacks, vandalism in Karnataka, Bengaluru, or in Tamil Nadu, anti-Hindi agitation? He is saying, sir, English language unites us. Again, a bane of the British. What if it were not for the English language? No, apart from English, which not a very large chunk of the population speaks. They are saying, sir, then Hindi. Bitya, Sanskrit. Huh? She is saying, किसी को भी किसी की नहीं समझ आती. Intermixing of the languages. Now, in India, friends, there are hundreds of languages which can broadly be classified into 4 language families. 4 broad categories or language families all Indian languages can be classified into. Namely, the first set of the Indo-Aryan languages. Indo-Aryan languages. Second is Dravidian languages. Third is Sino-Tibetan languages. Sino-Tibetan. And fourth is, tell me, Austric languages. Bilkul. Aryan, Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Sino-Tibetan or Austric languages. Okay? Then 78% of India's population speak the Indo-Tibetan languages. Indo-Aryan, sorry, I stand corrected. It was a slip of tongue. Indo-Aryan languages, 78%. While another substantial 20% speak the Dravidian languages. Okay? In other words, friends, you have 98% of the population speaking one of the 2 linguistic families. You understand, right? Indo-Aryan and Dravidian languages. Dravidian हो गई Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, और Indo-Aryan हो गई Sanskrit, Hindi, Bhojpuri, and the works. ठीक है? As per the 2011 census, (96.7% of India's population have as their mother tongue one of the 22 languages in the 8th schedule. ठीक? तो इतनी भी diversity, is not so divisive. Very, very small fractions of the population may be left out from the major linguistic communities. Are you with me? Moreover, as you rightly pointed out, English serves as a link language across all 4 language families. Yes or no? Indian language classification. Apart from this, friends, apart from these factors which bind us together, there are various other aspects of culture which serve as a unifying force. Various other aspects of culture. For example, friends, no matter whether I am Hindu ya Musalman, Sikh ya Isai, no matter whether I am Baniya ya Jat ya Gujar ya Iyer, no matter whether I am Kannadiga or Punjabi or Telugu or Gujarati, what matters to me, something very, very dear and important to me. Who, what, whom do I love? Family. The importance of the family. Family is very important to Indians. और ऐसी वैसी family नहीं, which family? Joint family. This importance of joint family is pan-India. Another thing which is seen across the country is an emphasis on across families, castes, classes, communities, and regions and religions. Which area of the home we play particular stress for in terms of, say, cleanliness? The kitchen. Cleanliness of the kitchen. रसोई साफ होनी चाहिए. ऐसे क्या क्वेश्चन मार्क से देख रही हो? रोटी कैसे पाओगी फिर आईएएस बनने के बाद? Very important for all Indians. Another thing which बोलने तो दो, which is a very, very strong and important social identity for all Indians is, चाहे मैं हिंदू हूं या मुसलमान, again don't make me repeat, or any part of the country, which identity? Caste. Caste system is pan India. Caste may be different. Are you with me? But the system, the basic principles. For example, one basic principle of caste is kya? Which will affect your life. Caste endogamy. You have to marry within your own caste. Caste system is pan India in all regions. All regions, people believe in caste. People believe in hierarchy, believe in marrying within the community. You know, interestingly, caste finds its ideological basis in Hindu scriptures. But Muslims and Christians in India also have caste. Muslim or Islamic and Christian scriptures do not legitimize caste, but Indian या South Asian Muslims and Christians have caste. So caste is also what? Pan India. Sikhism. arose partly in protest against the caste system. But Sikhs also have caste. So caste is what? Pan India. So a belief in caste or the principles of caste unites us. So ये सारी अच्छी चीजें होंगी. There is a strong sense of collectivism across regions, communities, and social groups. In other words, collectivism matlab the collective, the group is considered as more important than the individual. Opposite of collectivism is individualism. In the West, there is very high degree of individualism. But in India, we find collectivism across social groups. Are you with me? Simply placing the community before the self, the whole before its constituents units, WHOL. ठीक? Also appreciate the phenomena of migration. Strengthens our national unity and integration. Simply, friends, since people are migrating freely and across regional boundaries, when people go, what do they carry? Elements of their culture. Now in Delhi, for example, you will find lot of stalls selling litti chokha. Because many Biharis have come and settled in Delhi for work, for jobs or education. Yes or no? You will find Chhat Puja. Earlier it was not performed in Delhi. Now being performed in Delhi. Delhi BJP ka president was a Bihari fellow. That actor, Manoj Tiwari. Are you with me? So, you understand? I was surprised to know that, there's this, you will find different kinds of cuisines in metropolitan cities like Delhi. I was surprised to know that एक सागर रत्ना करके South Indian food की chain है. South India में नहीं है. I was surprised to know that. Because for us, South Indian in North India or Delhi means Sagar Ratna or now Sarvana Bhavan. Are you with me? So you will find all kinds of cuisines, all kinds of food habits, festivities, rituals, customs, observances, etc. thanks to migration. दिल्ली में सीआर पार्क चले जाओ, वहां पे आपको दुर्गा पूजा on a very massive scale मिलेगी, because it's mostly populated by Bengali people. So point is, friends, that there is a lot which unites us. The divisions are somewhat, they are not the, or let me put it this way. There are two broad approaches to how different cultures interact in a pluralistic society. Given that we have heterogeneity of identities and cultures, one model is what is called the melting pot approach. Heard of this? This is what characterizes the society in United States of America. Like India, they also have diverse social groups, identities, lot of migrants from different places. They have a melting pot approach. Melting pot approach क्या होती है? Imagine a melting pot. In other words, imagine a big pot where you have hot boiling water and you put various ingredients in it. You put carrot in it, you put whatever in it, tomatoes in it, this and that. What will happen to those elements? They will get absorbed into that pot. They will lose their distinctive identity or flavor. You will not be able to then distinguish that this is the tomato and this is the potato or whatever. Whatever goes into it becomes a part of the whole. Are you with me? Losing its own distinctive identity or flavor and adopting that of the whole. Is this the approach we have in India? No. We have what is called the salad bowl approach. In a salad bowl, you have again a variety of elements. But do they lose their distinctive flavor and identity in the salad? No. Each element retains its distinctive flavor. But is it healthy and tasty, or is it unhealthy and atpata? It is tasty and healthy. In other words, different elements in the salad, they go well together, though they taste different. Likewise, in our society and culture, you have the cucumber, the green Musalman, and you also have the gajar, the saffron Hindu, and you also have the Shwetambar Jain community as the white mooli, each retaining its own distinctive practices, beliefs, rituals, and customs. But together, are they atpata? No. They are a wonderful, tasty, healthy. So point is, friends, कि our diversity is not a source of weakness. It is instead a source of beauty and strength. Unity. So what this Indian model of salad bowl suggests that, unity is not premised upon uniformity. We don't have to be the same to be one. Are you with me? We can be different yet be united. So unity is not premised on uniformity. And diversity does not imply differences or divisions. We have what? Unity in diversity. हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई आपस में सब भाई भाई. अमर, अकबर, एंथनी. ठीक है? This is the nature of Indian society. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Sorry. Two questions. Should we read Sangwan today? The answer is no. And कल छुट्टी है? The answer is yes. मान्यवर का क्या नहीं बताया बेटे? Thank you, friends.